What's up? We're going to come on live here.
Hello, this is Adam Began, and I'm the host of Historically Haunted Show, where I talk about some very rare historical and haunted locations that I visited. I also interview some of the very best in the paranormal and cryptozoology field. So tune in every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Paranormal King Radio Network. And prepare to be educated about the unknown.
Hey, historians. Sorry about the late start here. Technical difficulties. What can we do? We don't fucking, control everything. But welcome back to Historically Haunted Show right here on the Paranormal King Radio Network. As always, every Friday night we are live up to about 5 countries or so with a bunch of just different platforms that we're on. And today we have a guest. I've actually had him on once. I've had him on my vodcast. He actually came with T. Thomas, but I wanted to have a little intimate time with him alone and just kind of shoot the shit. So this guy here, he's a paranormal enthusiast. He's an adventurer. He's a full-time dad. He's a hard worker, and he's also the head of the PARAMIGOS, which we're going to jump into. And he's also part of Small Town Adventures. My friend Bryan Bohall. What is up, brother?
What's up, my buddy? How you doing, man?
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. I said, I want to talk to someone fun. I want to get not that I don't want to talk serious, but you're a fun one and you're always in chat. You're always checking in on shows on the vodcast. You're always a big fan. So we respect that. And yeah, man, it's good to talk to you again. How's life treating you, B?
Dude, I can't complain, man. I'm out here in California. It's not 106 right now. It's like 99. And so we kind of get excited, when it's not 100 or whatever, So it's kind of like wintertime right now.
Oh, the sun's going down. Must be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So man, I want to jump right into it because I'm really excited to see where this. First, you were looking for a logo for a while, and now you're right off and running with the PARAMIGOS. Let's talk about that. That's your brainchild, your baby. So, what gave you the idea, man? Let's start there.
Yeah. So, the PARAMIGOS are a group that started out with me and just a friend of mine. Okay, and we grabbed like a nice chest full of beer, and we watched way too many episodes of Ghost Adventures, and we decided we were going to go out and like investigate all these places on the West Coast that they've been to, and at first it was just kind of like a goofy thing, where we're just having fun and acting like goofballs, but the more and more we did it, the more we realized, hey, this stuff isn't just like what's on TV. These things actually talk to you. And this is exciting. And we need to take this seriously. So we ended up, getting a couple other members. One is a psychic. The other's like an equipment tech. And what we've been doing since then is investigating people's homes that ask us to come out, and we, assess the situation. We do it, in a professional manner. I'll come out and interview them initially. I'll do a baseline, and then if it seems valid, I'll bring the whole team out, and we'll do an investigation for them to see what their problems are. And that's basically what the PARAMIGOS is. It's just a group. We don't really advertise or anything. We just help people. We help them find out, what their problem is and try and help them find a solution. And if it's not something that we can help them with, we contact people that can help them and try and help them out.
See, and that's what I love, because I get it. Not everybody's into that. Some people are the weekend warriors. They love their selfies in at Eastern State Pen and all that shit. And that's nothing wrong with that. But don't call yourself like, don't say you're in it to help people and you don't do shit like that. Like, if you're kind of in it for yourself, you know what I mean? Because there's some people like me. I love going to spots too, but I love looking. I know you're big into history too. You look into the history of things. Like, you stay at first, you're just like, oh, it's fun, but then you start realizing this is fucking deep. And once a spirit gives you the gift of letting them see you, or letting you see them, or speaking to you, don't just TikTok it and run away. That's something that, go back, investigate, find out what that person is. And that's what I love that you're into. That's my whole point. I'm just patting you on the back here because you go deep into it instead of just going, all right, guys, next. You really seem to focus on a lot of the same places, I think. What's one of your favorite, that's one of your go-to that you think needs a lot of is really touch, I guess. It's not so much a personal, like a house case, but is there a place you've been where you really like and you think is full of activity?
Yeah. So I'm also part of another group called Small Town Adventures, and this is a venture with C.L. Thomas, and you've interviewed her and I before. We like the ghost town thing and investigating that, and trying to find the history of that. And my favorite place to go right now is Gold Country in California, and that's where, all the gold rush was happening, when California just initially got its start,
Yeah, the 49ers, man. That's where it comes from.
For sure.
Yeah, the gold painters and shit, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I want to ask you just real quick, because we do reach Canada, Britain, Mexico, and I think even UK, and a little bit of what's that? The Irish people there, Ireland. So for those that don't know what a ghost town is, can you want to just like maybe give them the layman's terms of what a ghost town in America is, or Western America?
So the ghost towns are basically, especially during the gold rush and things like that, they were places that, boomed, they were created overnight and blew up because all of a sudden they had an industry in that town, wherein before it was just a bunch of rocks, So it was a town that was created super, super fast and then died away. I mean, that is a ghost town in a nutshell. And you'll have a lot of different ones out here in the Southwest where I live. You'll have gold rush towns, you'll have silver towns, you'll have, just various different types of mining towns with things like borax. They created big, mines for those. That's what they make kitty litter out of, believe it or not.
No shit, I didn't know. What's that?
Yeah, and so I mean, the Southwest is just it has a ton of them. Up south, up north, everywhere. I
mean, even
so
Arizona,
I have a plethora.
New Mexico, Texas must have old coal mines and shit, old coal towns, right? I mean, it must expand out of, that's killer.
Silver, gold. I mean, and some of these towns still have a little bit of life in them, some don't,
Wow, what a
but
trip.
they're all really exciting to check out, and there's always spirit activity in all these towns.
Oh, that's amazing. Hey, dude, we can go over a little bit, but I got about 8 questions. I got to hit up some of my listeners here. Thank you, everybody in chat listening, and thanks for the great questions. First one comes from my girl, Heather, Witchin' Heather Kiminiti. She says, hey, Bryan, have you ever had to deal with any sort of attachments? Great question. Okay,
so I've never had an attachment that I know of. Okay, I do. My psychic does all the cleansing for us before and after investigations. However, almost every ghost town I go into, I feel spirits try to enter my body all the time.
Wow.
And I got a little creeped out last time I went to Jackson, where I have a lot of problems with that because I didn't have that sensation. And I realized I was wearing way too much protection. So I had to tone it down a little bit because I want to feel that closeness, to the spirits and feel that connection, but also I know that they can't go inside of me. So
right, there's a line to cross, and CL's. I don't know if you're talking about CL, but she's great with that because after I talked to you guys, I had a little bit of a problem, and she did some healing stuff for me and kind of helped me along my way. So she's good with that, and
that
can
she does
save
a
you,
lot
man.
of Wiccan stuff.
Yeah, it's like Heather, my girl. That's what they did before medicine. I mean, the aloe leaves when you get a burn, shit like that. Okay, so anyway, real quick, so we got our girl Betsy Brown Williams. Hi, Betsy.
Hey, Betsy.
Oh, Betsy loves you. You guys are definitely close. Because you've been to a lot of the Searchers events with Shane and all them and Josh. So Betsy says, Bryan, do you want to investigate any other cities and/or countries? Great question.
Okay, so she set me up. I know it. She knows I don't like to fly.
You don't like to fly?
Dude, yeah, no, I don't like flying.
Oh,
I'm not scared of it. I flew back in the day when it was nice and you could just walk up and go. And now there's just way too much going on to get on that dang plane, man. I don't want to deal with it. However, I want to get back there to Maine, man. I want to investigate with you. I want to see that country, man.
Because we talk a lot. You and me are pretty good kin. You always comment on my beer posts and shit, and you're one of the ones I like. You always like my shit. You always, I mean, even if it's on another thing, and I really appreciate the support because, man, I try so hard to make these pictures stand out instead of just putting a picture and everybody guess where it is. You know me, I love the info, and it's a lot of work. So to have people like it makes me feel good, you know. And I would fucking hook you up because you are like me. You're the Western historian. You know what I mean? You're very much into history too, right? I mean, that's your thing.
Yeah, I do all the investigations for our team, like background investigations, historical investigations. I'm really into it. Yes.
That's cool. Who's your third? Because the Amigos must be three, right? Or Amigos means friends, doesn't it? I'm not good with Spanish.
So yeah, so initially when it started out, it was just me and my best friend who passed away. So it just kind of grew. But Paramigos basically means paranormal friends. So it's not necessarily just three people.
Okay, I don't know why I thought three. Which reminds me, Carlos Nunez, who comes in chat every time, he says he loves that name. By the way, he says it's really catchy. So that's cool, Carlos. I
really appreciate that, Carlos.
Take a hit of this joint here real quick. And yeah, man. So what about countries, my friend? I know you don't want to fly, but if you could take a boat or just one time, I feel you could be like a castle guy. You'd be like Scotland, Ireland castles, I bet, no?
I would totally dig it. I've been to Europe 2 or 3 times. Never to investigate, though. I was younger. I'd totally dig it. I would totally dig it.
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
I haven't been able to investigate anywhere but the West Coast because I've only been into it for about 10 years. So it would be nice to get to the East Coast and see some of the things. Like I remember you showing me like this tower thing in a graveyard. It was just like I think it was like 50, 60 feet tall. Kind of looked like the Washington Monument. I want to see stuff like that, man.
Yeah, that's actually Virginia. There's 50,000 Civil War soldiers buried underneath that. That's the same place where the Richmond vampire, W.W. Poole, is buried, and 2 presidents. One of them is Monroe and Jameson, the other one or something. It's called Hollywood Cemetery in Virginia, in Richmond. And the lead singer, Gore, Otis Orungus, is buried there.
Yeah, Gore.
That's why cool. I did a Jaeger shot at his grave, dude. I love Gore. I met him a long time ago in New Hampshire. I met him. We did a shot then. I got a picture of me and him without his mask, and fucking, that's cool. You know Gore, dude. Yeah, you're an old school rocker, huh?
Oh, dude, I've seen them like 4 times, man. They were just here about 2.5 years ago. It's badass, man. Yes. I love those guys.
Well, hey, we got plenty of time. We got over 40 minutes. So let's talk some fun shit real quick. What's your top 2, 3, 4, 5? What's your top 5 bands or your real go-to to get pumped up after investigation or before or something?
So before every investigation, we blare The End by The Doors just to kind of set the mode. I do provocation, but it's light provocation. It's not like Zach Bagan's provocation. It's more of trying to approach the spirit, let them know I'm there, but I'm not there to harm them. That I just want to see what's going on. So we'll start off with that song, and then I like to do my provocation with a walkie-talkie because it turns your voice into EMF, so it broadcasts it a little bit better to the spirits.
Secret of the pros. I did. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Wow.
So I like to play that, but if I'm driving to the event, I like Ghost a lot, man. I think that band's awesome.
I love the first 3 albums. My favorite, the first one with Elizabeth and the Witch in the Watchtower, and Oh my God, fucking ghosts! I seen them once in Boston. They came out with the frankincense and myrrh and the fucking choir boys and shit. What a spectacle! That's dope. You're pretty well rounded, my friend. Wow, because you're playing old shit a lot too in your page. Nothing wrong with that, like Skinnerd and shit like that. And of course the Doors, dude. The end is, oh my God, what a song! It's like 30 minutes long. Fucking creepy.
Yeah. I did Gojira and Mastodon a lot.
Oh man.
You know, I'm French, so I kind of have a thing for Gojira because they're French. You know.
Oh,
so.
I was in a band for 5 years. I sang in a band, Culling the Herd, and my bass player Isaac loved Gojira. He loved Gojira, got me into him. They got some, and Mastodon too is all about prehistoric beast. I seen them, and Brain Daler, the drummer, signed my fucking Mastodon poster I got it in my room. They opened up for Slayer. Yeah, they opened up for Slayer and fucking Killswitch Engage, man.
That's a show right there, dude.
Oh, Jägermeister support show. Fuck. I came out of there surprised I had both my ears attached to my head.
Oh wow.
Oh man.
Yeah, I saw Mastodon right before COVID, man. I forget who they're touring with, but they were about. It was that band that all their songs are like a continuous rock opera or something like that. Oh, I can't not Flotsam Jetsam. It was something like that.
Cambria?
Yeah, there you go.
Coheed and Cambria. Yeah, it's like one big comic book or some shit like that. It's kind of fruity.
Yeah, it's like a continuous story or something. It's a cool concept, you know.
It is cool. Okay, so we got our top fucking bands. Is there one more? Because we got some questions coming in.
You know, I like a lot of different things, metal and country. I like old country, like Johnny Cash and stuff like that.
David Allan Coe.
Yes, I like some David Allan Coe. You know, just you know, all the kind of outlaw guys. But I like that kind of stuff.
It kind of fits in. Nicole Gaspard from Real Haunted Connections does her own show here as well on Paranormal King Radio Network. She's in California. She says, Brian, has anything ever followed you home? I don't know if she missed it or not. We did have an attachment question. I don't know if that's the same type of thing, though. What do you think?
Yeah. So I haven't had that problem. We do a lot of different things to protect ourselves. Like I said, one of the members of the Paramigos is named Leslie. Okay. And she handles all that kind of stuff for us. She's a skilled witch. She's a psychic. She's really well versed in all those things. And so we're really careful. So I've never had an attachment to my knowledge. And I've never had anything follow me home either.
Smart. Like you say, you make the precautions, you stand your ground, and you're assertive. I mean, dude, I've been to fucking, everybody goes, wow, all places you've been, you never picked something up. I go, possibly, but I don't come home and slit goats' throats and drink their blood. So I can't be that possessed. I don't know, man. Fucking, I don't know. I feel like it's all, you would know if you were, I feel. And so Betsy Brown Williams, Betsy Lou's got another great question. She says, do you prefer to use certain pieces of equipment or just use yourself like a camera?
Oh my gosh, dude. So I have a lot of equipment. It depends. I've noticed different locations. Like I have 3 different spirit boxes, and I noticed that some work in locations and some don't. So I like to play around with the different spirit boxes. I like the Necrophonic app. I think it's what it's called.
Oh yes.
And we just picked up a new toy from a really, really nice person that's actually, he works with Ghost Adventures. He's their equipment tech. And he made a device called, it is the RAD, RADD 559. And it's a LiDAR device. And so what it does is it scans the area, say a room, and it's shooting out LiDAR, okay, and it picks it up. You pick it up on a tablet, and it maps it out, so you can actually see spirits move.
Really?
And it's a great way to detect where a spirit is, and then you can, you see it, it's there, so then you can try and communicate with it with the other devices. I've only used it once because I've only had it for about a week. So we have a lot of interesting ideas, but we need to get to a location to where we can, utilize that device. And just really nice of Jeff to let us borrow that. Again, Jeff Conkle, really appreciate you, man. Okay.
Oh, good shout out. And that's cool. You're not really so much getting the bugs or kinks out, but you're just testing it to see what it's all about. And that's fair. No one knows anything right off the bat. You got to test shit out and see if it's for you. And that's noble, you know. Let's see. We got a bunch of people. Yes, there's a bunch of people in chat. Mike Davis, George Cannon, Carlos Nunez, Betsy Lou, Nicole Gaspard, Heather Witchin, Melissa Keene, Ross the King, of course, myself. So if when you guys chat, if I missed your question, just go ahead and ask it again. There's no shame in that. If I didn't see it, I apologize. Heather Witchin says she loves prehistory. She says Gore is legend. Betsy says she loves Gore. They're kind of selling the Gore thing. That's cool. I love that.
Hey, Heather, Heather's really cool chick, man. You guys make a cute couple. You really do. I love all the pictures and everything.
Yeah. She's man, I tell you, like, she's been kind of restrained with kids her whole life because she had kids at a young age, and I never had any. So I'm kind of bringing the freedom, and she's bringing to me the responsibility. So we round each other out. You know, and when her kid goes to her dad's, man, it's fucking, let's go to Salem. Let's go to Stephen King's filming sites. Let's go. You know me. I don't like staying still and shit. So fucking, I would love to hook you up. When you come to Maine, man, I'll show you where there's a witch buried, Mary Nason. They got a cement slab above her grave, like 3 feet high, and it's covered in ointments and coins and shit. And she was killed she was an herbalist and an exorcist, and she was killed at 28. Yeah. They thought she was a witch, and that's right in York, Maine, which is technically York, Massachusetts until 1820. But I'd love to show you around because I know you got respect, and I showed you some pictures. You go, look at the woods. Cemeteries are beautiful. Look at the old stones. You really have a lot of respect, and I'd love to get you out here, man. So anytime you're out here, dude, you gotta fucking.
Let me ask you. I hear the woods in that area and like that whole region are really, really kind of dark and mysterious. Is that true? They have like a weird vibe to them.
Well, they're thick. Maine is like, dude, if you look at the fucking map, we're like 20% water, 60% trees, and like 20% land, because the trees, dude, you go by on the side of the road and you can see maybe 10 feet in. And there are so many fucking trees, dude. You can't see shit. It's like dark. Middle of the day, sun can be beaming. You go into the woods, you gotta be careful. You might get a tick, which we don't like here, or a little snake or something. But for the most part, dude, you walk about 100 feet in the woods and you're like, where the fuck am I? Like, me and Heather got lost on a wooded trail, a guided trail. Remember that last year at Kennebunk? We had to walk off and go sun up during the day.
Oh my gosh, man.
So there's a lot of Wendigo stories, Bigfoot stories, UFO sightings. And of course, us Mainers, we love our lumberjacks and we're the woodsmen. But man, especially where I live now, I live up by Brownville, Maine, which is literally like native land. I'm like fucking dude, I'm like 3 miles away from an Indian township by Mount Katahdin, Maine and shit now where I live. And there's nothing but just every day a deer crosses the road and you don't see them till the last second. It's like Russian roulette every fucking day. The wood's so thick, these beasts just jump out, and if you're going 50, boy, you better pay attention. So the woods are deep for sure.
Dude, out here, it's all desert, until you get up in the mountains. And then, it's all pine trees and it's really kind of spread out. So I've been in North Carolina because I was in the service for a while.
Oh,
and I remember, thank you. I remember how dark it would get at night in North Carolina because of all the woods. Yeah. And I mean, I don't get scared of stuff like that, but back there I was scared to death to go out in the woods at night, because it's so dark. You can't see your hand in front of your face,
And every snap of a twig, you're like, is that a rabbit, a coyote, Bigfoot, a fucking serial killer, Jason Voorhees? Because half the time you hear snaps or even howls, you're like, what the fuck? Because we got Fisher cat. Fisher cat are like, they're bigger than bobcat, but they're a little smaller than a wolf. And then when they howl, dude, they sound like a drowning baby. They're like, ah! Sounds like I swear to God. Wow. Look up Fisher cat noises on YouTube sometime. It's pretty fucking wild. So, Yeah. I mean, but your area reminds me of the hills have eyes. I can see going through a mountaintop and some one-headed Cyclops guy coming up to try to fucking kill me.
Now, there are people like that out in the desert, man. There's communities. It's real. I mean, not to the level of that movie, but there's areas you don't want to go, into their area and try and talk to them. They don't want to talk to you.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
So
you're a foreigner, part of that or whatever, and you get the fuck out of here. What are you doing here? You lost? Oh boy.
Yeah. they don't want anything to do with society. So
yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same way too. But holy shit! All right, we have some more questions. Oh yeah, Heather says, "Oh, making me blush." She'd love the compliment.
Hey.
Oh, Melissa Keene, great question. Any Ouija board experiences, Brian?
Okay, so I kind of, when I was a kid, we played with one, and we had the lights come on. We had some stuff move around, and I never messed with them ever again. Not necessarily because I'm not scared. I'm not scared of them, but it's not my area of expertise. So if I was going to approach using one, I would talk to Leslie, and I would have her approach it and handle it. Cause I know that when you mess with them, you're opening a portal. Okay. And then when you're done, you need to close that portal. So I don't know enough about it to do it properly. So I kind of go to, that's why I have a team. You know, we have people in the team that all do different things. And Leslie handles all the Ouija board kind of activity if we decide to use that, you know, in an investigation.
See, for those of you listening, that's called knowing your role. That's not my department. Just because you're a paranormal investigator doesn't mean you got to take on everything. A lot of times, and Brian, that's a fantastic answer because I don't either. Witchy stuff is out of my hands. I'm into the history part. I'm not going to claim to be a psychic. I'm not going to go in there and try to fucking be an executioner, an exorcist, and go in there. I have friends. I know people that are about seniors and Father Kenneth Torres and all that shit that could help me. But I'm not going to push the limit on shit that I don't know. It's just going to make it worse. Smart fucking man, dude. Good answer. I like that.
Now, I've always wondered, I ask people if they think a spirit box is like a digital Ouija board. And to my understanding, it's not, because like a Ouija board, you have to open the portal and you have to close it. But with the electronic device, just by you turning it on isn't opening a portal. What's your thoughts on that?
Wow. I mean, that you say that, I've never really honestly tackled it looking at that. Because right off first, I want to say that I disagree and say it is like a Ouija board. But when you kind of say it like that, and the way you explain it, I think I got to actually agree with you and say, yeah, it's not quite there. I don't think it is. I don't think these apps and these different things, there's nothing quite like a Ouija board. Because yes, Ouija's a great name. It's developed in Salem. You know, Elijah Wood or Board, whoever the fuck made it. The guy in Connecticut, he's died now. But for the most part, spirit boards have been around since the beginning of time. Natives use spirit boards. You know, it's coined Ouija, but it's based off a spirit board. And there's nothing quite like a spirit board. I don't think, unless you draw like you know, those people draw things on chalk on the ground or blood. Maybe that's kind of like a Ouija too. But yeah, spirit box, no, you're right. I think that's completely different, honestly. It's a little more advanced.
It's something to investigate and think about. I'm sure, you know, the Wiccans, you know, would have a better idea about it than I would. But yeah, I wonder about that though. I do.
That's a great question to let everybody, all you historians, paranormal investigators, think about that, because that's a great. And honestly, I mean, who's really wrong on there? That's open to interpretation. So that's a great one. Betsy Lou, another question. Awesome, Betsy. Thank you so much, Betsy Brown Williams. When you sense a spirit or energy, Brian, do you quote unquote freak out? She knows you don't, but she thought she'd ask. LOL.
So I don't scare very easily. I kind of take the role. I don't mind going down in the basements. I don't mind going in the attics. Just on a recent investigation, I want to talk to you about a little bit. I mean, nobody wanted to walk out into this field, and I'll go. I mean, and I don't tell people to go just to scare them or anything. You know, when it comes to the dark stuff, I go. Not much scares me, except for lawyers. They scare me. Car salesmen, they scare me. You know,
in-laws,
stuff like that. Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Just kidding. Wah, wah, wah. But no. But see, that's the thing. That's what these fucking people see. Like you say, you start off watching the shows, having a drink, eating pizza, going, oh, this is like fucking wrestling. This is cool. We can do it. But then once you get into it, I feel like that separates the ones that want to go but get scared fucking shitless as soon as they see a bird and run out of there 100 miles an hour screaming. Because I don't want to be with someone that fucking does that, because I am here to hear a voice. And if someone's going to talk, I want to hear it. I don't want to go boo and run off, you know? And I think a lot of these fucking people do that, honestly. And that's commendable.
Well, I mean, the whole reason you're doing it is to have that experience, right? And to try and communicate. And so, honestly, I get a little offended when I'm not getting a lot of activity, you know, because damn it, I'm here to investigate. Let's bring it on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I want to hear your story. I'm here to help you. I'm not going to be one of these other people that just goes, hey, can you say my name? And Frank, and they all run out and run into the car and go to Burger King and call it a night. I'll sit there till fucking, like at St. Albans Sanatorium in Virginia, West Virginia. I went to that in Radford, Virginia. Dude, I spent the night in that thing. Me and my buddy spent the night in the morgue. The fucking people running it like, hey, it's 3 a.m. Time to go. I'm like, all right, we'll be up in a minute. We're in the fucking morgue at 3 a.m. Just me and him talking, taking pictures. Fuck it, right? I mean, what's to be scared of? You're a man. What do we really need to fear? Like you say, unless like obviously government overtaking and crazy shit like that, a bulldozer coming at me. But for the most part, dude, I'm not scared of a spirit, right?
No, not at all, man. I can't think of an instance where I was actually even scared. I love this stuff. I mean, I spend all my free time doing it pretty much.
Yeah. When I'm not researching or watching documentaries or true stories or old horror movies based on true stories, like the town that feared sunset there in Texarkana that had a serial killer and they never found him. That's pretty wild in Texas there. So yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, I watch wrestling and that's about it as far as like fake shit goes or other shit. And the rest of the time, dude, it's paranormal, it's history. Where do you stand on cryptids, dude? We didn't really talk about that. You believe in cryptids and aliens and all that shit, or are you just strictly paranormal?
You know, yeah, absolutely. I think it's all kind of under the same umbrella.
Yeah, I agree.
I like some things more than the others because I'm more passionate about it. But yeah, Bigfoot, aliens, I believe in it all, man. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I'm just more passionate about the ghost hunting. That's where I'm at.
Yep. And that's kind of where I started. But being in New England, man, there's so many fucking cryptids: the Dover Demon, the Wendigo, Bigfoot, then aliens, Betty and Barney Hill, abductees, black and white couple in 1961, New Hampshire. They get abducted, and fucking Barney died 9 years later of a brain hemorrhage, and Betty could recite the whole solar system, Milky Way, the whole nine, dude. And she lived to be like 94, wow. Man. Oh yeah, I went to her house where they both died. I've been to their grave sites, and we've been to where they got abducted. It's a big placard. So all that shit's intriguing. Life, like people go, oh, I love a good mystery or a good horror or a good, I'm like, dude, look at life. Look up shit in your town. Look up the biggest fight in your town or even your area. Maybe you didn't have Revolutionary War, but you had Spanish-American wars out there. You had a lot of natives out there. People that lived in the land before we did. Like Betsy said earlier, woods are hard to figure out. How many people lived in the woods and died and just never, you know what I mean? Like, they weren't civilized. Fuck,
so you brought up a great point. Just recently, we did an investigation for a lady, and she said she's lost 3 children. Oh. She's in her late 60s now, okay, and she's lost 3 husbands, and she said that when her family bought the land in the early, I think it was the late 1800s, they leveled the land out to farm it. And when they did that they found Indian bones, and they didn't do anything about it. They didn't try and contact a tribe. They didn't do anything to right it. They just leveled the land and let the bones lay as they were, or threw them away, or whatever. And so she's had a lot of activity at her home, and she wanted to know, what was going on. So we came out and we did an investigation, and we're going to release this. We filmed it, I'd say in the next month or so. Okay. And come to find out, there are a couple spirits that we communicated with that said they were protecting her from the spirit out in the woods. And so we investigated that, and it was very interesting when we went out in this orchard. It's an almond orchard. We could see shadows running, and it was at night, running in between the trees, and we could see lights. And that's when we knew that this was a little bit over our heads. And so we contacted a few individuals that are medicine men for the Navajo tribes. and they called it a slow death type of spirit that is just kind of sucking the life out of her, and it's killing all the people that she loves. Oh. And it's a very, very interesting, kind of premise. There's more to it, but I don't want to give the entire episode away. But that's what Small Town Adventures is working on right now.
Where can people find this? I mean, I know, but I want people to know. Where can people find Small Town Adventures? 3 words, guys.
Yeah, so it's Small Town Adventures. It's on Facebook. It's a page and a group, and we will be releasing it sometime in the next month.
But you're also on YouTube, correct?
Not yet. We're going to be once this gets released.
Well, I also see that you're doing a podcast. You recently were on your own. Are you right? Is that true?
So C.L. Thomas does a podcast. It's called Small Town Tales.
Oh, that's right, too. Yes.
And I was on that with her. And we are talking currently. We're gonna start something on YouTube that's a little bit more lighthearted. And she'll be running the show, and I'll be kind of like on the show with her.
Oh, check that out, because that's 2 good people. You guys run well together, and you're the yin and yang, and that's going to be great. I look forward to that. Fucking right. Ross the King, my boss, the man, he says, hey, Bryan, what is your favorite all-time location that you have been to? Great question, Rob.
I have 2. Preston Castle in Ione, California, which is in Gold Country. I go there at least once every 3 months to investigate. I'm actually a foundation member. So I go there and I pull weeds, man. I just love the place.
That's cool.
And then I love the entire town of Jackson, California. Every freaking building in that town is haunted, and the history there is beautiful. The spirits are very unique and different. They'll crawl in bed with you.
Wow. Brothels back then. They had a lot of brothels and shit, right? Saloons with the brothel up top.
Yeah, pretty much any room you're sleeping in the old hotels, they were brothels. So,
that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, but if you ever get a chance, go to Gold Country. It doesn't matter what town you go to. I mean, there's haunted activity happening all the time, day and night.
And like I always say, even if it's not haunted, which it obviously is, the history alone is astonishing. These are the things that movies make for old Western movies, but it's the real fucking deal. The one horse saloon, they have the old horse things, you tie up the horse and they go to the saloons. I mean, I've seen a lot of this on TV. Wow, it's cool they keep that alive like that. Nicole Gaspard asks, hey Bryan, what are your thoughts on hack radios? HACK.
Those were kind of before spirit boxes came out, right? Yeah. I think I've heard Darkness Radio talk about those. I've never experienced one. I've never seen one. But I think they were kind of like the pre-spirit box, which would be interesting. I get what I can get my hands on, and that's something I've just heard about. Primarily I use the S box. There's some things I really like about it and some things I don't, but I also use the SB11 and the SB7.
Wow. I mean, like you say, you're willing to try anything once. I mean, as far as like product goes, but you do get your favorites, and that's kind of an oldie. I've actually really never heard of that. I'm not gonna lie, I've never actually heard about a fucking hack radio. So that's a first.
Yeah, and I heard they work really good, but I've just never seen one. I've never had the opportunity to get my hands on.
That's cool. I'd like to try that. And of course, I definitely want to do the Estes method. The searchers have kind of they didn't invent it, but they kind of brought it out. You ever done that, the Estes? You must have with them or something.
Oh my goodness gracious, yes. I got touched
I like that.
For the first time. It's kind of funny the way I got touched for the first time, but
hey, it's rated
I
R,
was doing the Estes method, yeah. Oh man, Estes is a crazy deal. I find some people can do it and some people can't. Our psychic Leslie, that nothing communicates to her that way. It's weird. But if I'd done it with C.L. Thomas, she just zaps right into him and communicates really well with the spirits. Me, it's off and on. So usually if you have a team or 3 or 4 people, there's always usually that go-to person. Then there's the person that you kind of put in there to kind of, see if they're getting the same results, But I've done it quite a few times. I've had success with it, but normally, we'll have C.L. Thomas do it.
She's very definitely she's like the quiet one of the group, but you can tell she's definitely knowledgeable and she knows what the fuck's going on. So that's cool. Shout out to her if she's listening. And if not, this will be up tomorrow on Spotify, on iTunes, on YouTube, on my Facebook page. The hard copy of this will be all over the place. I'll tag it to you. So yeah, we're talking to Bryan Bohall, guys. I forgot I've even had an audience sometime. You talk so easy. I feel like I'm just talking to a fucking buddy, which I am. But sure. Man. Yeah. So we want to give some shout outs. We got a little bit of time left. We still got about 15 minutes left, but let's name drop some shit. Let's talk about obviously Small Town Adventures. That's all over Facebook. You can get there. And you can also check out Paramigos. They don't have do you have a page for Paramigos yet or no?
No, I purposely don't do that. All I say is if you need help with any type of hauntings or anything that's going on in your home, contact me, Bryan Bohall at Facebook, or you can reach me at paramigos@gmail.com, and that's 2 G's. Okay. And what we'll do is we do not charge at all. Okay. We don't even ask for gas money. I will come out. I'll do an initial. If it seems like valid, like there's something we can do to help you, we'll do that. And that's, I kind of don't advertise it because I don't want to seem like we're some people that are trying to be on TV or anything. That's not what we're trying to do there.
I love that.
So if you know me, you know what I do. You know what I mean? You can get a hold of me.
And with don't forget BRY, not I. I fucked up. I knew it was Y and I throw I on last time for the podcast. I got it right this time, but it's BRYAN BOHALL. And he's one of the truest in the field. He doesn't get enough love because he's not a big head. He does his thing. He knows his shit, and he's in it to help people and kind of learn for himself. And there's nothing wrong with that because it's actually kind of rare, honestly. And that's why I asked him. I'm like, hey man, I was supposed to have a guest this week. Unfortunately, her daughter had surgery. She couldn't come to do it. I gave him like a 2-day notice. I'm like, you want to fucking fill in? He's like, absolutely. So I'm like, ask Bryan. So Nicole asked, actually Gaspar, because she's in California. She's by the Queen Mary and shit. She wants to know if that house you were talking about earlier in California, is that by Hemet, Hemet, California? The old stuff.
Hemet.
You know where that is?
So it's in the Central Valley. I can't give up the location yet because I haven't been given 100%.
Oh, no, that's true.
Authorization to tell the location. I will tell you that it's about half an hour from where I live in Fresno, California.
Are you like middle? Where's Fresno? Is that middle, southern?
We're right in the center of California. Yeah.
Oh, right on. Okay, cool. So yeah, because she asked right away, Nicole goes, do you accept new members? I'm interested. Hint, LOL.
Yeah. So Nicole, just send me a friend request. Okay. And we can definitely work something out. Like the C.L. Thomas comes all the way from Vegas. We're looking for members. I don't want to make the group too big, but we could there's some skill sets that we definitely still need. And, I'd definitely love to talk to you about it.
That's great. She's good people. She's an author and she's part of the Warren Legacy Foundation with me, with Chris McKenna.
Oh, that's awesome.
And Lorraine's granddaughter. She's a newly member, new members this year. So she's got a lot not really super lot going on right now. Her husband passed away a couple years ago. So, but she's really into it. And I think that'd be a great, plus for you. She's been like Alcatraz, Queen Mary. I think she went to the Winchester House. Kind of cool places like that. Let me see. Okay. My boss Ross says, great guest, Adam. You could tell Bryan speaks from the heart. Nothing scripted at all. Real genuine. So that's great. Well,
thank you, Ross. I really appreciate that. It is a definite goal between both projects that I'm involved in that we are very passionate. We care about people. We want to help people. We're passionate about the field too. I will never walk onto a property that says no trespassing without permission. We want to be an example of what the paranormal community should be like. Okay. We don't, trash people on TV. We don't talk negative towards people. We want to show people that the paranormal is a positive thing. Okay. That we're not freaks. I get treated like a freak all the time.
Oh, be careful who you tell what you do to. That's for sure. Oh yeah.
And genuinely, we care about the locations. We care about the spirits. We care about all religions. We care about, all races. It's very important to me that a female is one of the co-lead investigators in my group, because I think I'm just all about girl power.
And well, see, it's one thing to just have a girl like, well, we got a girl, but she's nah, but CL knows her shit. So absolutely have a girl, but just like guys, they got to kind of go through and fit the bill, because you'll find some great girls out there. Like, I don't want to have a girl on my team just to have a girl. I want her to actually pull her weight, and Heather fucking does all day long. When I'm not looking up, I go by, you see that house? She goes, yes, in 1975, Captain William Phillips' house. Want to stop and get a picture? I go, do I? Yeah. That's our thing, brother. You know that because you live it. What about your boys and your family? They all support you? Do they get into it too a little bit? I know they're younger, but
yeah. So my boys help with the filming when we go to these awesome places. So when our video gets released, I mean, especially with CL, kind of working in the industry a little bit, she always gets on me about, well, Wyatt didn't do this camera angle right and blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, he's a kid and you got to teach him, so our videos aren't perfect, they're not like Hollywood quality, but, we're working with what we got. We do the best we can. And like I said, I try and keep the family involved in it if they want to be involved in it. Some do, some don't. My wife will go with me to locations, but she doesn't investigate. She'll scrapbook. That's just the way my wife is.
But she at least but she supports it, and she'll go. Oh, that's half the fucking battle. You don't want someone sitting at home going, "You go to that place again? It stinks like old fucking house." You know what I mean? That's not anything good. So it's kind of good to have someone to do her own thing. There's nothing wrong with it. And your kids, man, they're learning at a young age, bro. They're gonna be professionals in 10 years. You kidding me? I wish I started that young.
Yeah, I ask them, do you want to go to Disneyland? They're like, no, hell no. Let's go to some ghost town out in Arizona. I was like, all right, cool.
That's awesome. That's what I looked at the other day. Like, we haven't done a trip in a while. Where do you want to go? And I think I want to go to Vermont, because Vermont's got the Beetlejuice filming sites. The bridge the Maitlands drowned off of there still. The hardware store where Adam bought the tools. Oh yeah, all that shit's there. Beetlejuice filming sites. Ben and Jerry's ice cream graveyard is there. All the flavors that they've died off. And Emily's Bridge.
Yeah, I saw Jim Long. I saw Jim Brown go there. He did a video on that. Oh, yeah, he did that, dude. And that was freaking cool. I like that.
Hey, shut the front door. I gotta flavors. Yeah, that's an Alice Obscura find. Oh, I know Jim very well. I haven't seen. Was it recently?
I want to say he posted something about a month and a half ago, dude. And it was pretty hilarious. I think it was on TikTok or something like that.
No shit. Yeah, it's right outside the Ben and Jerry factory. It's out back. It's a little plot of like Bubble Garcia or whatever.
That's hilarious. I love that.
Well, say because you love that shit too. You love the seriousness. You love helping people, but you like to have a little bit of fun here and there on these trips. Like, didn't you go to the Pittsburgh jail or with Betsy and all them and Heath Edwards?
No, I wasn't able to do that. And look, we do like to have fun. You'll see in our videos that we're going to release, we've been working really hard on them. There's humor in there. When I'm ghost hunting, I mean, I'll talk shit to the spirits if they tell me to leave or something like that. And you'll actually see it in this video. I'm just like, hey, listen, man, I'm not going anywhere. So you might as well just talk to me, and I get into it with the spirit, and he tells me to fuck off and all this stuff. It's cool, man. You might as well have fun if you're going to do it.
I tell you, it's to talk back and forth and to be at a place at night or with a couple people and you're filming and your hair standing up on your arms. There's no place I'd rather be. I don't want to be at home watching someone else do it. I don't want to be at home watching people. I want to do it myself, and to be there. Oh, you know the feeling, dude. You get the bug and that's it. You're just like, holy fuck, this is the rest of my life. That's all I want to do. I want to be in a wheelchair getting pushed around basements,
I will be. I guarantee you. Hey, real quick, dude. Have you ever investigated a hospice?
Oh, that's a good one. I went to there is a hospice here that was torn down. Oh, shit, let me think. Oh, I mean, Hillview Manor was like it's an institute. No, not really. No, I can't say that I have that I can think of. Shit, that's a swinging door.
I want
right
to try that. And one thing that have you ever done an antique store?
Oh man, there's one in South Paris where me and Becca Thomas and Heather went one day, and shit was falling off the. You think it was an earthquake? Remember, shit fell off the rack a couple times, and oh boy, but we didn't actually investigate because they were open. But just going through, I was talking and shit, and that's a great question. With all the stuff in there, you don't know what the fuck's been attached. You know what I mean? You got stuff from 1712, and it's like for all you know, some old lady fucking died on that, and they're selling it for $20.
Yeah, one of the hard things is just talking to somebody and say, hey, look, can I come in here about 10 o'clock at night? I won't steal nothing. I just want to talk, see if there's any haunted stuff in here, and people look at you like you're crazy,
You got to feel them out first. Oh yeah. You got to feel them out because you're going to think you're satanic, but some are cool. I'm the type of guy where I'll find a film out. I'll go, place is old, huh? They go, oh yeah, it's old. I go, anybody die here? Is it haunted? You ever seen it? Well, that one time a picture went flying or whatever. You always get that little thing. And it's hard to go in places that are open because they don't, like you say, it's hard to say, I'm not going to steal your shit. I just want to fucking chill in here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great question. I'd love to go to a hospice or something, or an old hospital or a veterans hospital or something. Poor souls.
Yeah, we have a hospital that's closed down about 15 years ago. And it's just sitting there, and people have taken rocks and broken the windows,
Of course.
And it's got this huge like razor wire fence all the way around it. I want to get in that place so bad, man.
I love your mind.
Imagine.
Most humans would see that and go, I'm staying the fuck away. Brian's like, give me a bolt cutter.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
But that's our rush. People get rushes out of, doing hard drugs or, I don't know, man, gambling maybe, or fucking, racing cars, I guess, and playing ping pong. And my rush is going to a cemetery at fucking midnight with a flashlight and smelling the fucking morning dew on the cemetery grass, dude. And just, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. We're weird people, but are we really? We just like different shit. And there's a lot of us I never knew until I started opening up on Facebook that there's so many fucking nuts like us. And I mean that in a good way. But there are so many witches and warlocks and demon hunters and paranormal enthusiasts out there, alien hunters, that they're all like us, man. I mean, there's some that aren't. My family doesn't really dig it. They think it's kind of weird, but what the fuck ever, man. I mean, I had a lot of friends on Facebook. You guys are fucking my friends as far as I'm concerned. So.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, I tell you, one of the coolest things, is first the excitement before you go to a location, especially if it's someplace, that you just been dying to see, I remember the first time I was driving to Preston Castle. I mean, I was like a kid on Christmas, and to actually get in there and investigate, and the first thing that happened, we weren't even there for 15 minutes. And we caught disembodied voices, man.
Oh my God.
I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me, and then that's when the hair stands up on the back of your neck, especially if you've done a lot of investigations and it's like, I'm in the supreme dojo here and it's let me know that it's haunted right away. Hell yeah. Let's do this,
That makes up for the 3 or 4 that you sat 8 hours at for nothing and you didn't get a fucking meep. Right. I mean, it's like fish. It's like fishing, dude. I bring people out to go, gonna see something tonight? I go, yeah, I'm gonna tell the ghost 10 o'clock there, Bobby. It's your cue. Come haunt us. I go, they fucking work when they want to work, man. You can go 8 times, not see shit. That 9th time, you might piss your fucking pants. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's worth it.
But along the way too, man, you meet the coolest people. I met C.L. Thomas right outside Goldfield Hotel. It was just something that happened.
Goldfield.
And some of my closest friends. I'm sorry?
Ooh. Goldfield. I've heard of Goldfield on Western Haunts. I have that on my bucket list. Goldfield, the old school hotel, right? It's like 4 stories tall. Oh, shit.
Yes.
All right.
The unfortunate mistake.
That's awesome.
The unfortunate mistake I made with that was I went with I met Nick Groff and it was a group that, he sold the tickets and stuff. Unfortunately, there were like 75 people inside of that thing, and it was just too much going on. And so I didn't, experience anything.
No.
You know what I mean? So,
You don't know
the
whose energy
ideal
is,
way.
No, you can't do that. You don't know whose fucking energy is. Am I feeding off the living, the dead? 75 people, really? That seems like a wicked lot. Holy shit.
And to be honest with you, I wish I could have gone back there the next day. After the spirits had fed off of all that energy from all those people there, that would have been ideal.
Oh, smart man.
But that place it's hella cool to get inside if you can ever do it. But I think it's for sale right now. So
is that what your cover photo is? What's your cover photo? That big orange fucking building.
That's Preston. That's Preston Castle.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Wow.
So that was a boys' reformatory. Okay, where if you got caught for something, like Merle Haggard was there, believe it or not.
Oh, but country legend.
Yeah. If you got in trouble with the law, they give you a choice. You could go to prison, or you could go to this reformatory where they teach you skills and, teach you a trade. And so they'd send the boys there. What they didn't tell people was that, parents that were poor, or if they had special needs kids, they'd drop them off there. Okay. And then they go inside and they would be transformed into it was like being in the military. They had to do, marches. They learned there's a structure between the boys and stuff where, some had higher rank than others, some were in charge of others. But what happened at this place was that the guards just beat the crap out of them. I mean, they beat them senseless. And there's a lot of bad stuff that happened there. A lot of the kids got killed. Okay. And so when you walk inside this building, I mean, you can feel the gloom. You just feel this dark, heavy presence there. And it's a very powerful place, especially when the sun goes down. It turns into almost a completely different animal.
Fucking witching hour.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, nothing good happened there. It's nothing but misery, pain, and woe. And that sticks in things. That stays in things. Even if a residual, even if it's just a repeating haunting. That place is stained, boys. Woo, shit. Wow. Nicole Gaspard asked, have you ever been to the Lizzie Borden house? I don't think Brian's ever been to the East Coast. You said that, right?
Yeah. So since I've been doing this, I've done no investigations farther than Arizona or Nevada. I haven't done anything east of that.
Okay. Well, we'll have to bring you there too for a day tour. That's all. Out in Nevada though, I mean, you got crazy, just flying bird sightings. I always hear about UFOs, even just cryptids. Not to mention, like you say, all the leftover shootouts in ghost towns back then. Man, that was Billy the Kid territory, and you're in all that old gangster shit, right? Like I went to saw in Iowa and saw where Jesse James committed the first train robbery via horseback in Adair, Iowa, and that was pretty fucking wild. The train tracks are still there and shit like that. So, dude, the Western boys didn't fuck around. You must go to old, Wyatt Earp type areas and shit. Like, I'd love to see that stuff. Anything associated with them?
Not to my knowledge. Most of the stuff that I've done in Nevada, like I've done Goldfield, the Armagosa Opera House I've been to, of course, the Clown Motel, the Mizpah Hotel. There's some places that I can't talk about that I've been because we filmed there, and so we haven't released it yet.
No, you can't let all your secrets. You ever been on Route 66 at all? You ever been on parts of that? That's a bucket list of mine.
Yes. Yeah, and I've been on the terrestrial highway.
Area 51 and shit area spot, and Roswell or whatever.
All that kind of stuff, yeah. But most of my investigations have been in homes, and they've been in cemeteries, abandoned buildings that I was able to enter legally, things like that.
I love that. That's the offbeat shit. I love finding new. Everybody, I mean, like I said, I love Lizzie. I love Titanic or whatever the fuck, Queen Mary. All that shit's great. But it's great to go to a place and go, oh shit, I've never heard that. The guy that, what is the one me and Heather went to a couple weeks ago? There's a guy, what the fuck was it? I forgot now. I don't know, the guy that invented the donut hole or something. I forget. Something crazy. It doesn't always have to be paranormal to me. I just love old historical artifacts that no one knows anymore. People don't really hear in history books. There's so much, you know that.
There's that Atlas Obscura that you turned me on to.
Oh, that's cool. I love that,
I find
dude.
stuff, around here, man, just weird obelisks and just strange things that I never knew existed until you get on that website and look,
It's wild. It's free. You make an account. You can put a bucket list place, or you can, categorize it. You can put where you've been. It keeps track. Like right now, out of all the places there's a town, Biddeford, Maine, that my girlfriend's next to. There's like 5 places in Biddeford. I'm the first person ever to get to all of them before anybody else. It says you are the first to get to all of them. So that's kind of a neat little thing, because I think Heather's like second or third, and it'll never change because I was the first one. So that's kind of fun. I'm glad you did that too, because it's a fun tool that I like to share with people. Hey man, we got about 4 minutes left. Do you want anything you want to say? Give shout out to anything we didn't touch on?
Yeah. Again, I really want to thank Jeff, the inventor, Jeff Kunkel, for letting us use his RAD 559 device. Okay.
Ooh.
That is a real honor to be able to use that. I want to plug Small Town Adventures Facebook page. We are going to be releasing videos very, very soon. And we will be releasing them there first. I would like to, just anybody that needs help, if you're listening, if you need help with the paranormal, contact us at Paramigos, that's with 2 G's, at gmail.com. And then you can also find me on Facebook, Bryan Bohall. Instagram, I'm Paramigo Bryan, and that's with 2 G's. And, I'm out there. You can find me, and I can definitely talk to you, and we can try and figure something out.
He's literally as sweet and sincere and a badass.
One more thing, Adam. Sorry. Hey, let me also give a shout out to Small Town Tales podcast with C.L. Thomas. Real good friend of mine. We're going to be doing a joint venture thing shortly together, and she's also a Paramigo and a part of Small Town Adventures.
You heard it, guys. I mean, like I said, he's willing to do fun shit, but he's also in it for like helping and figuring out even if you're like in Wisconsin and you need help, hit Bryan up and he can at least guide you in the right direction. He knows people in the area. He can look, shit like that. He's a good dude. He's a busy man. He's a husband. He's a father. He's a worker, but he's one of the good ones. And I mean that. He's Adam the Historian Ghost Hunter approved. So check him out. Don't forget, guys, check out my YouTube channel, Adam the Historian Ghost Hunter. I'm up to 100 fucking subscribers now officially, which is awesome. And this show will be on my Historically Haunted YouTube channel, where all my archives go of all the hard copies. So Ross says, awesome show, Bryan and Adam. Everyone in chat is awesome for joining us. Nicole, Heather, Betsy, Melissa, George, Mike, Carlos, everybody. Have a great weekend. God bless. Heather says, great show. Happy Friday. Treat others well. Make love when you can. I love that. So yeah, I guess I'll be lucky tonight. Hopefully we'll see. She's laughing. But yeah, man, hey, seriously, I can't thank you enough. I'll have to have you and CL come on my podcast soon, and maybe have her on my radio show. And I appreciate you stepping up and just being yourself, man. Kudos. I appreciate it, Bryan.
Thanks, Ross. Hey, thanks, Adam. And thanks, Heather, and Betsy and everybody for being here. I really appreciate this. This is a real honor for me.
I know you're very humble and you're very fucking, you're cool. And you support people and you don't really ask for supporting back. And yeah, man, you're doing great shit. So check out Small Town Adventures. They're going to blow some great shit up soon. Very humble, very down to earth. Bryan Bohall, check him out. Bryan Bohall. And I'm Adam the Historian Ghost Hunter, Adam Began on Facebook. Everybody listening, thanks a lot, historians. We'll see you next week. Bryan, say goodnight.
Good night, brother. Take care.
Good night, brother. Love you guys. Have a great night, historians. We'll see you next week.
Hello, this is Adam Began, and I'm the host of Historically Haunted Show, where I talk about some very rare historical and haunted locations that I visited. I also interview some of the very best from the paranormal and cryptozoology field. So tune in every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Paranormal King Radio Network. And prepare to be educated about the unknown.